Directors to order. Please join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome all. Well, here we go. We need to start with, I'm always a little confused by this. Do we do all three of the minutes at once? I don't think so. So
Only
let's,
one motion, right?
yeah, well, we only have one.
There
listed,
should be a
but I think
motion
we
for all
I think we
three.
have a motion
Yeah.
for all.
Because they were all three different events.
So the first thing we need to do is have a motion to adopt the budget hearing, approve the budget hearing meetings of July 29th, 2024. All those, let's see. Is there a motion to do that?
I'll make a motion to approve the budget hearing meeting.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any corrections or changes to it? Okay. All those in favor of approving the budget hearing meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. Not hearing any, they're approved. Is there a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of July 29th, 2024?
I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of July 29th, 2024.
Great. Is there a second?
I wasn't there, but
I'll second. I'll second.
Okay, any changes or questions about those minutes? Not hearing any. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. Any abstaining? Okay, they are approved. Is there a motion to adopt tonight's, the meeting minutes from the board retreat of August 19th, 2024?
I'll make a motion to accept the board retreat minutes, August 19th.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Any additions or changes? Not hearing any. All those who approve these minutes say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. I wasn't there, so I didn't participate.
You can still vote on it.
Well, I don't want it.
Okay.
No, I do. I'm an aye too. Is there a motion to adopt tonight's agenda?
I'll make a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
Second.
I'll second.
Any additions or deletions to the agenda as it stands? All right, not hearing any. All those in favor of adopting tonight's agenda say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed say no. The agenda is adopted. Public comments and questions.
We have
Natasha, are you the public?
Yes. Is it just me?
I think so. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
If you'd like to stand, you can. If you'd like to sit, whatever you're more comfortable
I can
doing.
stand, it's okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to start by introducing myself. I'm Natasha Riggin. Thank you very much for providing parents like myself the opportunity to speak to things that are close to our hearts. I have a 14-year-old daughter in your district. My daughter has several co-occurring disabilities, and her disabilities greatly impact her mental and behavioral health. It's been a challenge to create an environment in which she can thrive and learn. Her combination of disabilities creates a situation where traditional methods and interventions not only do not work, but can create an unsafe environment for her. We liken it to fighting a grease fire or chemical fire with water. Traditional thinking says water puts out the fire. However, in some cases, the wrong retardant is dangerous. It's similar when trying to find approaches to students with mental and behavioral health issues. You use the wrong retardant and you can make a big problem much worse. My husband and I have spent years attending trainings, parenting classes, behavioral coaching, and working with specialists all over the state. We have worked hand in hand with Seattle Children's Hospital through their many programs. We have also worked closely with our daughter's schools teams over the years. My years of experience on this journey have shown me a great need for more specialized training for parents, administrators, and educators alike, as well as better access to behavioral health therapies for the students and families that desperately need them. I've dedicated years to looking for resources to help my daughter. The more I dig, the more I see a vaster need. We live in an isolated rural community with high poverty rates. For some families, it's only a dream to access these resources. The last 2 years, I have compiled information on a few training resources and opportunities that I think would be a great beginning to making some improvements within our school for children like my daughter. My hope is to help the students that are struggling due to neurodivergent related needs, as well as mental and behavioral health challenges, to provide staff with alternative tools to help these students. I have seen and experienced these struggles firsthand. Today I'm speaking to you as a parent, but I also bring 13 years of experience working in education myself. In that time, I saw so many children with similar challenges. So many times it felt like we were only able to band-aid the problem, if that. I know this is a frustration many educators and administrators battle within their careers. So this has inspired me to try and be part of a solution. Rather than complaining, I'm choosing to actively look for solutions. I have been in contact with some of the Olympic Medical Commissioner's board members. I've spoken about the need for a mobile mental behavioral health service in our area. I'm talking about specialists in the field of autism, ADHD, ODD, FASD, DMDD, OCD, and BP, to name just a few. Providers who can offer testing, diagnosis, and correlating specialized therapies and support the parents trying to navigate a very difficult parenting journey. I also spoke about the need to build a partnership with the schools so educators can work hand in hand and learn new skills and interventions. I truly believe something like this would have a positive impact for the staff and students alike. I've also been in contact with a gentleman named Kerry Magro. He speaks at schools, offers in-service training to staff, and offers family and community speaking. He brings awareness to the struggle of neurodivergent students. He himself is autistic and was nonverbal as a child. I have forwarded the information to our district administrators so they can make contact. My hope is that we can start using resources like this to learn and grow as a district, to offer something more appropriate for our neurodivergent students. I'm also leaving all of you with some of the studies and information I've gathered over the years. You will see the various studies and websites listed under resources. It's a small window into your special needs family's world. I hope the information is helpful when dealing with issues that arise over the coming school year. In conclusion, I ask you to imagine yourself or a child you love on a similar journey. How would you want the world around them to respond? Thank you all for giving me the opportunity to speak, and I have left my contact information if you would like to speak to me further.
Thank you very much. And is the administration in receipt of her, and have we looked at them at all?
Yeah, we will discuss it at one of our leadership meetings as to what we would want to do with the information.
And I'd like to
Yeah.
discuss it here again because she's absolutely right. It's a problem for kids with all those things, and there's a lot of kids with those. That alphabet soup stuff. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming here. Now, just because you were on our speakers list doesn't mean you're necessarily obligated to stay the whole time.
Thank you.
You're welcome to.
So you are welcome to. We appreciate a fresh face. However, if you need to leave, you can.
Thank you.
All right. Any other public comments, Nathan? Okay, well then we'll move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to adopt tonight's consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to adopt tonight's consent agenda.
Great, is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, are there any questions?
Nope, I didn't have it.
Okay, well then, all those in favor of tonight's consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. None are opposed, so we have a consent agenda. And it is approved. Reports. Superintendent's report.
So, one thing that's not on there that I'd like to report is the prior superintendent to me, Frank Walter, visited our school district several weeks ago. And if you remember when he left, I think we were in dire need. As Bill would say, when we needed some things, we had to duct tape things instead of get this. And he was actually very complimentary of your work. Was really impressed with our facilities. We walked him through the high school, took him out by the field, and just was really in awe. And so he told me to tell everyone hi and congratulations on your hard work. He was also really excited to see that there was staff retainage, that he actually knew some of the staff who were still here. I was kind of shocked that we have such a steadfast, long-standing operational district office and administrative team. So anyway, he said hello and compliments from him. He's very pleased to see our work.
When's the last time he was here?
Since he left in 2007, when I took over.
Oh, so there's
2007.
Yeah.
My word. A lot of water under it.
That is.
Holy cow.
No. And then, hang on here, let me see what's next on the agenda. Oh, remind you that our annual kickoff is Wednesday, August the 28th. If you would like to come and join us for lunch, we're doing our annual potluck lunch in the Forks High School Commons area. You're welcome to come for the whole morning. We'll be doing a variety of things, but if you want to just come for some good food and a chance to talk with staff, then I can introduce you to the staff. Please join us.
What kinds of things are you doing in the morning?
We're gonna do my annual. I'll celebrate what I see as the top 10 celebrations of last year. Then we'll do some mixers where staff actually have a chance to get to know one another by name. It'll be whole group. And then we'll go into what I would say are my expectations for the school year based on our conversation at our board retreat and your goals and my goals. Kyle's going to talk a little bit about teamwork. We'll do then a closing, and then I'll do probably a 10-minute overview of our educational programs and operation levy, EP&O levy. And then we'll take our annual picture, and that's probably going to be a good 2 hours, hour and a half. And then we'll have our lunch, and then staff will be able to go back to their rooms for the compliance part, which is doing our Vector Solutions Safe Schools training. But come in and have some good food if you want. It's really probably one of the best events, kind of relaxed, old-fashioned potluck style.
Okay.
Always lots of food. And then we had our new teacher academy, very successful. And so here is our new certificated staff from left to right. Brandon is our science teacher at the high school, Kat, social studies teacher at the middle school, Shauna, our new high school counselor, Kelly Doyle. She is our 8th grade science teacher, and Felicity Silcox will be our, oh my gosh, I'm just going to lose. PT, yes.
Who? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Is
she
she
is,
a local Silcox?
she's married to Nancy Silcox's son.
Kevin.
Oh,
I stopped in there that day. We did that, met those new teachers and had pizza.
Good day to stop in.
your nose was working by then.
Yeah.
Just have to have some.
We have one other teacher who had a prior engagement, Maggie, who's going to be teaching at the elementary school, who could not attend. But they were fun to be around. I spent a good chunk of the time with them for 2 days. So we welcome them. You want to go to the next? And then we also, our new classified instructional paraeducators, these are staff who work directly with kids, did their 28 hours of their fundamental course of study. You saw that in our district improvement plan. They actually were a really good class, according to Kirsten McCracken. They were very engaged. So they were here for 4 days. Was it last week? I can't even remember. August is a blur. And so we have from left to right, Brandon Ehorn will be at the high school, Jesse in the back at the middle school, Danielle will be, is she at high school? High school. Joanna in our EL program in the elementary school, Cray in the elementary school ELL program. Amy is our behavior specialist at the elementary school. Melina? Some of them came mid-year last year, and so that's why, and she'll be at the middle school, and then Janine is at the middle school? Jeanette. Yes. I got everybody's name right.
Good job.
But they did a really good job with that. The fundamental course of study is really it's pretty heavy. So 4 days of it helps prepare them for anything under the sun, special education, English language learners, some of the compliance parts, how to work with your certificated staff. It's just a lot. But congratulations. Kirsten McCracken did a wonderful job.
And what'd we hire her for?
Sheila? Okay. Any questions? And again, that is only for our instructional paraeducators. So we have other classified staff we've hired for either an office position or ones that don't directly work with students, and they don't have to, by law, attend or complete the 28 hours of fundamental course of study.
Okay. Hey, could we back up one section to the consent agenda? So on the punch list and the final,
That's
I
coming.
guess,
Coming out.
well, I thought we approved something. Hang on.
The substantial completion of the Spartan Stadium Phase 2 is old business.
Right now, there's something else. I
Okay.
guess not. Oh, you're right. Okay, my bad. I guess I am ahead of myself.
Okay.
Disregard. Let's move forward then unless there are any questions for Diana or the admin staff about those trainings in the academy. Let's move on to the financial report. Diana.
Oh, can you get me there? Okay. So again, we're a month behind. So for the month of July, we see our larger apportionment, and that's why it looks as though we are in the black for spending. So we had 6 million revenues and expenditures were 5.6 million. So about 458,000. And so you can see where we are at as far as net cash and investments in the general fund for the month of July. We're at 10 million at 20% of our current year's budget. And you can see we're trending about where we were last year with meeting our minimum fund at 5%. There's some reserve funding, which we have to spend in certain categories. So 5.6 or 5% with a little bit over. and unreserved, undesignated at 7.1 million, 14.44%. And so if we look at our, our budget status report where we have the general fund, one thing that I wanted to point out for local support non-tax in 2000 of revenues, we gained a little over $600,000 from our investments that's in the county treasurer because of the financial positive that we have there. And again, I think we will see that next year. And additionally, if you look at our debt service fund, another area we're always monitoring very, very closely, in the debt service fund under 3,000, we budgeted 120,000 for our junior taxing district timber dollars, and we are not quite there yet at the end of July. We're at 106,000, and remember, that's always been an area that's been either double or triple, which means we haven't had as many sales. I believe we have the sales, but it's just a matter of when they sell, they have 2 years to do the logging, and so some are still in the process. If you look at what our anticipation is for an ending fund balance in August, we're probably going to see a little over 10 million that we have in the county treasurer.
Does the county ever get angry about that?
No,
Does OSPI?
no.
I thought somebody would get upset because we're kind of banking in the county.
No, and when you add in our monthly costs, we want to have about at least a month, if not 2, in reserves to pay payroll, to pay Insight, and so it'll be interesting to see what our state auditor says.
Okay.
And my understanding is we're about in the middle of the pack of districts that have a good financial status, like Cape Flattery has 80%, but they have maximized their local effort assistance through their taxing. They get some other funding mechanisms that are strong. But we're in good shape.
So you've been making good money on your interest.
Yes, yes. And they're pretty, I can't remember what the percentage is, but I think it's at almost 5% is what we're seeing. Yeah, and the county can only invest in certain ways, very, very conservative. And then we take a portion of our debt service fund, I think $500,000, and no, in here, we take $500,000 and we invest it in a CD. I can't remember what the rate is on the CD, and that's usually a 9-month CD, but we figure $500,000 to $1 million is, but it's usually higher than that, almost 5%, but I don't think it is right now.
And why do we do that?
Just because-
to diversify?
Yeah, and just because we can generally get more from that. If you, I can't remember exactly what the rate is, but I can have Jan get it for us. And that's usually a 9-month to a year, maybe a year and a half, but no more than that.
Why don't we do more?
We could, but then you're looking at,
A lot of
what
it's
if?
not very liquid, but
yeah, what if you needed the money?
okay. Great. That's always good to hear.
Yes.
Good deal. Then, if there are no questions on finances, then let's move on to board member reports. But before we go with our board, Sheila, is Myron here?
Myron's there somewhere.
Well, would either of you like to report?
Myron, you have any school updates? You've got the teachers back?
Yeah, we have our teachers back. Diana joined us for our teachers return, which was awesome. Our first day of school is next week. Right now we're running about 500 kids approval, 500 more kids approved than we did last year at this point. So we're on a pretty good growth trajectory in that respect. I did have a couple of interesting experiences. I actually was at Costco the other day and I had my Insight shirt on. And a student said, "Hey, do you teach at Insight?" I'm like, "Oh, actually, I'm kind of like director of Insight," and had a great meeting with her and her. She's actually a senior going to Running Start this year with us at Pierce College, just right not too far from where I live. And she has a sister that's in our middle school, and they had nothing but positive things to say. Today I had a phone call with a parent who's looking at trying to re-register her kiddo for next year. And she's like, I don't know if I want to do this. She really wants to go back to the building. She goes, I really want to know how many credits she has. And the reason that was such a big deal is since COVID, this particular young lady has really struggled going to in-person schools. And she just joined us in trimester 2 of last year. And the student has only 3 credits to her name, and 2 of those credits came from Insight Washington. And the mom was like almost in tears. She's like, I got to keep her here. She's actually thriving. She's doing better than she ever has anywhere else. And so I walked her through how to complete her choice transfer right there on the phone, because she was just so excited that her daughter was actually finally making some academic progress.
Well, that is great news. Good job, you guys. Keep it up.
Myron, and what about Nadia?
Oh yeah, we had our. I forgot to bring. I didn't know that was not brought up in the last meeting. But yeah, so Nadia, our K-12 cook-off champion, she actually won the nationwide cook-off. And I think I sent the link to Diana. You can watch it. It's pretty cool, where she gets presented with her $1,000 check for winning the K-12 nationwide cook-off. So we're excited about that too. We were like all stoked. We were all watching the broadcast, and our team's chat just like going crazy. She won, our student won. So that was really cool.
Well, she expects our support. She needs to come here and make us something.
Where does
kidding.
she live?
I don't remember. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, we should entertain getting her here when you guys come, so she could join with our culinary kids and exchange some ideas.
We'll send a limo. All right. Well, thanks. Sheila, do you have anything from the bigger picture?
Yeah, we're doing the same thing across the nation, just on a larger scale. Probably about half of our schools have started already. And it's kind of nice that Insight Washington starts a little bit later, because we get all the bugs out before we actually have to launch on day 1. So that's good. But we're gearing up. We have our new platform, Engagely. The students are going to get to experience. They had a little practice at the end of last school year, but they'll be able to get in there and have a little bit different virtual learning experience. It's kind of a table setting and more interaction. So we're expecting really good things from that. So just all the typical back to school things.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, and I sat in on the initial training with Myron's team, and it does look really more engaging. It just looks more like a classroom. I don't know how else to describe it. You can put kids at tables. It really just mirrors what teachers can do in their classroom. Yeah.
Oh, with this new program, Edgeley or
yeah.
But you can,
it's like
go ahead.
No, I was going to kind of, the way I kind of explain it, because I was recently in a podcast interview where I tried to explain it. It's kind of like, in a normal classroom where you have the teacher in the front of the room, right? And the kids kind of come in, they're seated at tables. That's what Engagely does when the students enter into the room. It seats them all at tables, and they can hear the teacher all at once. And then the teacher wants to put them in smaller groups. They can be set to where they only can talk to each other in their own table. They can't talk to the whole group. But what's really, really cool is a teacher, just like in a classroom, I could like roam around the room, right? And I can kind of listen in and hear what's kind of happening at each table. The teacher can actually do the same thing in Engagely. They actually can what's called peek, and they can actually listen to the conversation and see what's happening in the table without actually joining that table.
Wow.
And if they need to join the table, they can, or anytime they can actually do whole group instruction and speak to all the tables concurrently. So it's really kind of an amazing platform, and it has a lot more interactivity to it. So
sounds like it. That does sound pretty cool. All right. Well, then the bugs are out, right?
Well, for the most part, and if any time, Diane, if you want me to, I've created a little Northwest Trek field trip I've been doing with kids to teach them the platform. I'd happy to set up a session where members of the board could join and kind of experience Engagely. It's a really great kind of introduction to what the platform does.
Sounds good.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. Maybe when we do your Spotlight on Success.
Yeah, we could do something to kind of show you guys what the platform is, have you guys log into an Engagely session and kind of experience it's really, I would say it's probably the system we used before seemed to be kind of more like a Zoomy kind of system,
Mhm.
or like a Google Meet, where it's not as, there's some interactivity, but not nearly as what we're seeing with Engagely.
Very good. Okay, yeah, I would look forward to that. Put it on your board, on your calendar. Oh, I guess I just jumped the gun, didn't I? I didn't read far enough down the agenda. Well, thank you, guys. Now we'll go back to board reports. Anybody on the board have a report?
Just gonna say just that you got to experience some pizza with the new teachers, Mike.
I did, but I already jumped on that. I already mentioned that. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we need to start reading it.
I just want to say, like, everything looks great. The parking lots, our sign out front, how awesome is that? A lot of great feedback.
Did you guys take a look at the foyer area?
I did.
I did.
I've
It looks
noticed
really
the rain
nice.
has got the weeds.
I know, it doesn't take long, but
But it does look very nice.
Oh, yeah.
the prison
courtyard.
crew did a great job.
So
Well, just overall, I think the place looks great.
It does.
Yeah.
it's good to see the kids out doing fall sports and
And we have some out, and I was a little, I talked to you already about that.
Yeah, I think we have 30 on the roster for football. We had volleyball show up today. Kyle was over with the volleyball. Soccer looked,
Mid-20s, 20-ish for girls soccer.
looks good.
Good. And Kyle, you're all ready to go for this year after going camping?
Did, I got my 20-mile hike in, fresh, ready to go.
Where'd you go?
7 Lakes, basically.
Oh, the circle?
Yeah.
Very good. All right.
I just wanted to chime in that Bill's staff, I mean, even Rita today is still getting all the top, doing a great job. The buildings just look absolutely wonderful.
What's she doing?
She's cleaning the top windows over in all the entrances, moving around from spiders and everything, but have seen her on the floor. I've seen all of the staff just really deep cleaning. They've done a great job.
So is she full-time now?
She's on
Okay.
replacement right now for,
Okay.
yeah.
She
But
counted the windows, there's over 500.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, say what?
She counted the windows, there's over 500.
Oh,
Bless her heart.
that sounds tedious.
And then if you have a chance, stop by the elementary school because of the new carpet. Looks really good in there. It definitely grows on you, but it looks great, the new carpet in the hallway.
Are we having a meeting there like?
In September,
Yep.
the second meeting in September, yep. But anyway, tell your staff, thank you very much for their hard work.
Thank you.
And thank you for yours,
Takes us to that team.
unless you haven't been.
We're always busy. Lots of
Okay. All righty then, I guess we'll move on to new business, which we have lots of approvals. It's too bad there wasn't a way we could consolidate this, but shall we begin?
We can go quick.
The first thing we need is
Go around.
a motion to
What's this?
approve the 24-25 QVSD student parent handbook. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the 24-25 student parent handbook.
Second?
I'll second.
Any major changes?
Well, I just realized I kind of did this backwards, but you're gonna see the revision to the board policy for student telecommunication devices. The revision for that, which reflects what we talked about at our retreat in making sure that students' cell phones are not in the classrooms. Students are not on their cell phones in the classrooms.
So that's already added.
Yeah, that was added.
And where is
Like
the
on-
policy?
The policies
here.
in old business. Mhm.
Oh, gee.
And I saw that in there, like page 16,
Yeah.
17,
Mhm.
somewhere in there. I did. read
That's
it.
the major change.
Okay, that's a big change.
It's a good change.
Yeah. All right, any other questions about that handbook? If not, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, say no. We have a handbook. It's approved. Is there a motion to adopt the QVSD 24-25 athletic and activities handbook?
I'll make a motion, we accept the athletic activities handbook for 24-25.
I'll second it.
Any questions about it? No? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed say no. It is approved. A motion to approve the Inside School of Washington Elementary Student Handbook. Is there a motion to approve it? Okay, Ron, thanks. Second.
I'll second.
Any questions for Myron on that?
I didn't read all 57 pages.
Myron is, and Sheila, Myron especially is the biggest change in there, that more fluid opportunity for parents to enroll their kids.
And that's a big change. I think the other big change you'd see in this is we had to kind of modify some of our policies in response to the Engagely rollout, because Engagely is a markedly different product than what we used before with Neuro. And then there were some other minor shifts that were related to regulatory changes, updates related to any of the regulations that are federal and both statewide that require all schools to make minor shifts and changes. And then the elementary, we added math remediation as a piece to this as well. So.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Their elementary handbook is approved. I need a motion to approve the Inside School of Washington Middle School Student Handbook.
I'll make a motion to approve the Insight School of Washington Middle School Handbook.
Second.
I'll second.
Any questions about it? Any comments about it, Myron? Any big changes there?
Primarily the same changes we had before, just a couple updates to enrollment documents, and then just kind of clarifying some language related to, I'm kind of scrolling through the big changes. McKinney-Vento homelessness, which is similar to what we did in the other handbooks. That's primary it. We did kind of clarify some of our language for our career readiness education programming, and how students, how parents could potentially, what that means and what that means when their child's participating, and if they choose not to participate, what they would need to do as part of that. So for the most part, it's pretty much the same. I'd say the biggest changes are bringing us back, aligning with the regulatory changes, and then the Engagely are the bigger changes. That'd be the same for the high school handbook as well.
Were there a lot of regulatory changes?
No, it's just kind of refining some things. It's related to the similar things you would do in your handbooks related to McKinney-Vento, the title, any of the Title IX rules, those kinds of things.
Okay. Thank you. All right. All those in favor of approving the ISW Middle School Student Handbook say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed say no. It is approved. Is there a motion to approve the ISW Inside School of Washington High School Student Handbook?
I'll make a motion, we accept the Inside School of Washington High School student handbook.
I'll second.
Okay, any questions? I suspect the changes or any changes, modifications were similar.
Yeah, they're very similar to what you would see. The middle school and the high school are very similar.
Okay, good. Okay, 1 second. Great. If there aren't any further questions or comments about it, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. I voted aye in case. All right, you all have your handbooks. Next is the QVSD Board of Directors goals for 24-25. Is there a motion to accept those, or to approve those?
Make a motion, we approve the director's goals for 24, 25.
Okay, for a second.
I'll second.
All right, any comments about those? I missed that meeting, so I rely on y'all for the,
And we looked at them and accepted them.
okay, good. All right, well, those are some pretty meaty goals. All those, I'm sorry, did we get a motion? I think we did. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. They're approved. Now we want to do the motion to approve the superintendent goals for 24, 25. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, we accept the superintendent's goals for the 24, 25 school year.
Right, is there a second?
I'll second.
Any comments about that?
The only thing I realized that I did not put evidence and monitoring under performance goal 3 for a long range facility plan is that I put in, I didn't put this in yours, but I guess it's assumed that we will provide communication about our February 2025 EP&O levy, and the evidence and monitoring would be that we pass that in our community. So stay tuned on that. I will be introducing it to our staff on the opening day for a first level of communication, and I'm getting a communication plan together. And of course, we'll visit it here soon in September again to look and see whether or not we want to raise that increase on that tax level.
Okay. All those in favor of approving the superintendent's goals for 24, 25, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. They're approved. All right, my word, we're halfway there, more or less. Is there a motion to approve the Forks Middle School Replacement Project Study and Survey? I guess it's resolution 17-2324, acceptance of state study and survey. That's what we're approving of, is that resolution.
So this is the first stage that is required for the replacement of the middle school, and Bill worked with Jay Hansen and staff in a day, and then they have to update the ICOS system, which is where we tag, put information on our buildings. And then once we get the resolution, we'll get reimbursed because it cost about $24,000. We get the initial grant from the state to reimburse us for that. And then it starts the process for us to be able to go out and hire an architect and then get a committee together and start the whole 5-year process.
So it's just good for how many years?
6 years.
So if we don't have a game plan in 6 years, we gotta do it over
I think so, yeah.
and pay that price again?
We get reimbursed from the state.
First one.
Yeah, but for us to even qualify for what they call state matching funds through the school construction assistance program, the SCAPA program, which is funded by timber dollars, we have to pass the state study and survey. There's like a 10-step process, a D1 through D9, D10, and that's step 1.
And are we, I forget, are we doing the 89 and the 70? Feel that we're gonna do the whole thing at once?
That's what we would figure out in our work with our
Discussion.
architect, yeah.
Okay. All right,
And we'll get a committee together for that, which I'll probably need 2 board members. So if you're wanting to be on that, you need to let me know.
Okay.
It's usually about a year process to go through Do we want to keep grades 5 through 8 there? What do we want our building to look like? I know one of our goals is to get everybody under one roof, so there's not all the traveling, so you can lock it down safer, make it a safer space for our students.
So we probably ought to start having those discussions.
Well, we'll have a committee that works with the architect, and we'll have.
But they'll be dictating where we put the grades.
No, you have you have the authority to rearrange our grade level spans.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
need to start.
And so
Having those conversations.
when we have those conversations at what we call the community advisory committee, who's advising us for the building, then they bring that back. And then if we need to do broader surveys to find out what our stakeholders believe, then we would do that and take that back to the committee. But ultimately, you have the authority. We may keep it 5 through 8. There may be reasons why we wouldn't, with space issues or looking at our
Demographics.
and looking at our footprint over there, how much we need now for coding, for parking, for classrooms. Our classrooms are much larger than they used to be. I think the current, they're at 700 square feet, and I think we need 900 square feet. Depends.
So
Yeah.
we're looking at 27.
2027, yep.
So
Where you
that's-
put it on the on the ballot for a vote.
Right, would all these committees be, they'd be meeting before then.
We're gonna put out an RFQ now for an architect, to hire the architect, and then once we get the architect on board, he starts working, he or she, or they start working soon.
All right, well, it's a very short resolution. Mine is kind of, run into the address of the school, but the important stuff is there. Okay, now do we have a motion on that?
No.
Well, let's have one, if we want it. Is there a motion to approve the resolution 17-2324, acceptance of state study and survey?
I'll make a motion to approve the Forks Middle School Replacement Project Study and Survey Resolution 17-2324.
Great, second?
I'll second.
Good, okay. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. It is approved, resolved. Okay, our 2024-25 certificated staff resolution, 18-2324. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the certificated staff resolution 18/2023-24, or 2024-25.
20, should be 20, oh no,
No,
why is it?
it needs,
because
we are
it's this
passing
year.
it in this year.
That's
It's for
why.
next year, starting September 1, but because it's a resolution in this
This year.
fiscal year, it's 23-24.
So it won't change until
No.
August.
Correct,
Okay.
till September.
Oh, September.
Mhm.
Okay, well, be that as it may, any questions about it?
Just note that there's to be determined, we have 6 certificated positions that are unfilled.
Ouch. Okay. Well then, all those in favor of,
We have a second.
Yeah, I don't.
oh, we don't have a second yet? Why not? Who wants to second it?
I'll second it.
Well, didn't you make the motion?
No,
I
I
did.
did.
Sidetracked here.
busy talking about the years, so then.
Yeah, okay, all right, well, now we have a second. All right, and I've already asked about questions, so all those in favor of approving the certificated staff resolution, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. It is resolved. All right, is there a motion to approve the classified staff resolution 19-2324?
I'll make a motion.
Thanks. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any questions or problems with that one?
Just note that there are 7 positions unfilled in our classified staffing. This is unprecedented. We have never had that many unfilled positions at the start of the year.
Okay, we don't hold classified staff to the same
No.
rule that we do certificated about replacements. Yeah, okay.
What's the majority of those, bus drivers?
No. If you look at the bottom,
Special ed,
special ed,
English, ELL.
ELL, mostly special ed. We have 5 vacant special ed classified instructional paraeducators, one-on-one paraeducators. We actually have 3. It's really difficult to find staff. We have no applicants for many of these positions.
That's too bad.
So what we are currently doing is restructuring, or what we call moving staff to fill the needs of our kids.
But now some of those kids you say are pretty high need.
Mhm.
You can't just move anybody into them.
Nope.
Something to talk about later, I guess. Okay, well, given all that, motion?
You do have one.
Do? Okay, my memory
Oh,
fades. And a second, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. All right. It is approved. They are approved. Fall coaches, there a motion to adopt or to approve Fall Coaches Staff Resolution 20-2324.
I'll make a motion to approve the fall coaches staff resolution 20-2324.
Okay,
I'll
Good.
second.
thank you.
And if you will note, we do not have a cross-country coach at the high school.
Okay, are we gonna have a team?
No,
Okay,
There's no way like the junior high coach can take on a few high school kids.
because of scheduling, yeah.
Yeah, so different leagues, totally.
do our cross-country runners know that?
We only had 2 registered at the time. I mean, again, that could be a symptom of not having a coach named, but they've been contacted, and I think, I know at least one of them has joined a different fall sport, so participated in a different sport.
Okay. Well, that's too bad. Okay, well, is there a motion?
You do have a motion.
I do. Wow, I'm not in it tonight, am I? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. We have fall coaches. Unrepresented, is there a motion to approve unrepresented staff resolution 21-2324?
I'll make a motion for resolution 21-2324.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Great, okay. And
So some of these teachers just bounce around from, it wasn't Rob Rogers doing science? Now he's math?
No, he's always
It's
been
always
that.
been math?
Mhm.
No.
I don't even see Rob Rogers.
We're on resolution number 21-2324.
Unrepresented.
Mr. Reeves is jumping ahead.
Getting anxious.
There's been too many motions.
Making me motion sick. Okay, so we're in the unrepresented staff resolution. We have a motion and a second. Any other questions that are pertinent to this resolution? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Abstain.
opposed, say. Okay, any opposed, say no. We have one abstention, as I understand it. Okay, well, the resolution passes. Okay. Moving on to the administrative staff resolution 22-2324 for administrative staff. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a
For
second?
Administrative staff.
Great. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, any questions about this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. Administration staff resolution is passed. Okay, moving on to the last one. Approval of out of endorsement assignments. Is there a motion to approve these assignments?
I'll make a motion for out of endorsement assignments.
I'll second.
Okay, second. Okay, thank you. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. They are approved. Anybody need a break after that?
Shannon does.
This
Okay,
is gonna go to the restroom.
understood. Okay. Well, then we'll wait a minute then. Take a breath. We're not done with motions yet.
No, we got a few more.
Maybe you can dry mouth.
Okay, calendar.
I think this is the most motions we've ever had on a board meeting since I've been here. Honestly.
Quite a few.
And Kevin's slipped out on it.
I know it. He's in Reno having a ball.
He would have us believe otherwise.
I know.
but we know.
He's working.
Sure.
Yeah, we should just try and call them about now, see what they're doing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bruce has probably got them down there having buffet, and then they'll probably sneak off and. who knows?
Kevin will go up and go to bed.
Probably.
You know,
Where do they do it? Where do they stay?
I don't know, but they have a big convention where they go
Right.
look at
buy
all of
stuff.
their, yeah.
buying.
Purchase most of their stuff for the year now,
Mhm.
which is crazy.
Oh, you didn't have to wait for it.
Well, you
I
got
could've
those-
caught up. I
Okay,
like that.
old business. We need to approve the revised 24-25 school year calendar. What would, remind me what the revision was?
Okay, so, and I just need to make a caveat here that if you want to table it for later discussion, you could table it or make a motion, but we moved our high school graduation to Friday, June 13th. Because of the college, so many of our students in the senior class are in running start. I think 40 kids. And we hold our kids to the standard of cutting that deadline off around the 25th. Yet we don't do that with our running start students, so there's not equity. And we don't know if they're going to fulfill all of their graduation requirements the week prior, because they typically get done before the 13th, and then they graduate on the 14th. We learned on Friday, literally, so I left this on here, that now they are pushing that date back until 20th is when when their grades are due. And so they don't hold their graduation till the 21st. We haven't figured out the resolution to this. And again, this was kind of a surprise to all of the schools, K-12 schools. We did not know that change. That's a drastic change for us.
Is it it's just Peninsula?
Well, it affects all of the
local
high
high
school
schools, yeah.
graduation, unless we say that kids can walk without having met the credentials, of us being assured that they've met the credentials. That has not ever been a practice of us in Clayton Valley School District. Either
Well,
kids
let's table it then if that's agreeable to everybody.
Quite frankly, we haven't had a chance to further discuss it with the college and meet with other superintendents to figure out where the equity is, because it doesn't feel right if brick and mortar students have to show that they have finalized their grades and met all of the credentials to be a high school graduate, and then we let another group of students who may or may not have met the credentials, just because they're in Peninsula College doesn't mean that they have met the graduation requirements.
Sounds like they're working, the college is working against us.
Well, I don't know what the rationale was, why they pushed that back, and so I think maybe that I would recommend that we table,
Yeah.
that somebody make the motion to table it. That'll give us some extra, I would have just pulled it off, but we had already
Put it on.
published the
No
agenda.
problem.
I'll make a motion, we table the calendar until further discussions.
Sure. Second?
I'll second.
Great. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed, say no.
So you're gonna be talking with like Port Angeles.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll talk with the college, probably approach a college together. Yep.
Perfect.
Okay. Spartan Stadium Phase 2 restroom. Certificate of substantial completion.
So this, once you approve the substantial completion, and I have Bill here if you have any specific questions, then your insurance or your, what do you call it, your, it kicks in, occupancy kicks in so that we can access the rooms or the restrooms. And then any outstanding items or any other issues, we usually have a calendar year from when we can turn it back, right? On the
They still have
contract.
punch list items that they have to get done. The punch list items aren't complete yet.
But if there are warranty issues, we've got a year, I couldn't think of the right word, warranty issues, then we've got a year starting from when you approve this. That's when the clock starts ticking. So this basically closes out the project. And you can see the outstanding items that Jay has put in there with pictures. And I don't know, when is our next meeting with Jay where we find out what the progress is on those items? They're usually small items that were that were on the punch list. And these are the ones that need to be completed.
We kind of went through and did some detail, you know. Again, like there's a little bit crooked, so straighten it up. I see it on
There's
there.
a light in there, there's outlet cover, some grates that are cut a little shy in there. The light-
So they'll have to cut up the concrete to do that, though, right?
Oh, no, the grates, they just sit into the trench drains.
The pictures they show here, and I thought it said they were supposed to go to the edge of the concrete.
They're about
It looks like right there.
3/4 of an
like
inch
there's a
shy
little
and half
gap
inch
right
shy
there.
on the grate cover.
Oh, that little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I was looking at that 8 inches. of
No,
concrete.
yeah, it's just
Oh,
about a
okay.
half inch.
They just gotta add the grate in there.
So that won't be a big deal.
And a light, the topper for the light pole. We have a 4 light that goes out there to give plenty of light, so when Little League pulls up their concession stand, it gives them good light there.
How did they miss that?
They didn't miss it, they just didn't get it done.
Oh,
Well, I take that back, the electricians missed it. And towards the end of the project, I seen it wasn't coming up, so I talked with them about it, and they missed
Okay.
it, and so they got back on it, and they ordered it, and it's not here yet, so.
And I just want to say how pleased I am with Jay's thoroughness. He really, as our lead architect, did a great job. We've had other experiences with punch lists that were a lot different, but he did a really detailed job with the small minor things.
I love the pictures.
Yeah.
And once they get the punch list done, they'll submit for final completion.
So the top of the retaining wall right there, what are you doing with that? You're gonna dig that dirt out and grass out,
We're gonna go ahead and
blacktop
cement
it
over
or
the top.
cement it, or?
We're gonna cement that down the road.
You gotta lift the fence up, the cyclone fencing a little bit, or just
Yeah,
cut it
we'll have
up?
to
or-
lift that up and go to do it. I'll probably have to take it off there to do part of it, so
next year or
summertime.
after yeah.
Yeah. But the building's actually occupied, it can have occupancy now. We got signed off by the city. So once you approve this, we can start using the facility.
You can all take a field trip out there.
So the cost estimate of the 12,000 is that on the contractor, right?
Which part is that?
It's the
It says
estimated
estimate
cost
Work to be completed.
is about 11,000
Correct,
something,
that's
yeah.
on the contractor.
We're not paying.
And we
anything
haven't paid for that yet, no.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't closed out their payment.
No, we still got retainage and they still have one more bill coming. Haven't seen yet, but we'll hold on.
No, I would say we make sure they do that before.
Yeah, that's the other part, yep.
Sounds good. All right, is there a motion to accept the Spartan Stadium Phase 2 certificate of substantial completion?
I'll make a motion for everything you just said.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any other questions about it? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. All right, we accept their substantial completion. Hallelujah. End of Spartan Stadium project as we know it. Now we start planning for the expansion and the one with the retractable roof.
Yeah.
10 years from
Right.
now. Okay. Revision to board policy 3245, student telecommunications devices. This is a new policy
Revision.
revision.
All in red.
It's all in red.
The biggest change again is that the staff does not have discretion during the classroom instructional time. Students' phones need to be turned off, not heard, not seen.
Perfect.
And I believe
What happens if they do?
then we're gonna look at the procedure. It's listed in the procedure, but ultimately we can take the phone away and have a parent come pick it up after school. Our middle and high school staff were in training today about safe and civil schools, and that was, she had the staff list what were the distractions of learning, and that was one of the major ones, yeah.
So staff
Yeah.
are happy.
So they have to keep it in their pockets or their bags? Is that what we're having them do rather than putting them in a locker or something in the classroom? How are you? And then you just have to make sure we're not doing this?
Yeah, we'll be discussing that as a staff and coming up with some common
Consistency.
system, so they're consistent. And that's part of the training that we did today, is that being consistent. And the trainer was very good about saying, when you don't do your part in holding students accountable, you're sabotaging your colleagues who are trying to do that. And so she was very open and transparent about that. And that, I mean, putting it in those words, we're like, oh yeah, I need to hold myself accountable and making sure students aren't.
Okay, be good to hear how that's going after the first few weeks.
I think one of the other communication things that our building principals would be doing with parent interaction is letting the parents know of our expectations. If you talk to staff, they oftentimes will say that students will say, I'm talking to my mom, or I'm communicating with my mom right now. And so, and then being able to be aware of if there are student pertinent information where they have to have a cell phone for some emergency, family emergency that's happening, communication will be a key and critical component, and we've got to figure out how that would happen.
Okay. All right, sounds like a good plan so far to me. All right, so is there a motion then to revise policy 3245, student telecommunication devices?
I'll make a motion to the revision for policy 3245 student telecommunication devices.
Thanks. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Say no. All right, it is approved. And that ends on motions. Now we have an executive session for how long?
Probably 10 minutes with no action.
All right, so we will come back out after our executive session to adjourn the meeting. No expected action. You're all welcome to stick around and wait for that moment. Otherwise, thank you all for coming. And Natasha, thank you for, and we as a board, I know, expect to hear more about what we're doing to address what you've articulated tonight, so.
I have
Thanks
one
for coming.
question. I have one question.
Oh, I'm sorry, you can't, no, go ahead.
About the cell phone policy. When it comes to students who have accommodations like audiobooks and things like that, my daughter accesses her books on her phone. And she also has like regulations, like calming regulation things on it. Like, will there be some discussion about how to navigate that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And whatever is in an IEP is the law. So if it's in a 504 or an IEP that there needs to be a device used, we'll allow it.
Because it's also how we locate her if she elopes. So it's like there's safety things around it. Like, I totally get having that and why it's there, and I fully support that. I just think that there are some situations where we have to navigate the situation carefully.
Absolutely. Right, Kyle?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right, Kyle?
Right, Kyle? My special ed. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming. Big
Thank
things are
you,
about to
Sheila. Thank you,
happen, so.
Myron.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Great.
The tools necessary to educate our children.
Thank you. We have family, welcome back to school night. Tomorrow night, 5 to 6:30 at both buildings.
Oh, okay.
No, elementary is the end of the day on Thursday.
Well, good luck with that, and you won't need luck this year, just hard work and perseverance.
Thank you.
Well, let's get you a chance to write up all the minutes.
We got a lot of stuff to sign tonight.
Yes, there is.
I'll lay it out for us.
Mm-hmm.
So remember last week I sent you, it's PDA.
Oh. Chairs aren't as comfortable as they used to be.
It's involved. There are several face-to-face trainings on there. There's even college you can go to in person. I've just started ready for some for myself. And I don't know
Yeah, I think it's coming up soon. Thank you, Kyle.
Hi.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Brenda.
Wonderful evening, you guys.
Did you get a new shirt?
No.
Do I have to speak that?
Brenda. I'm just really excited to come tomorrow. I'm excited. Anxious and excited. I'm sorry that schedules aren't there. It took our counselor a little bit longer to get here than what we anticipated, but so that's why.
And I think it's going to be a little more complicated anyways. I think for her, it's more about the seeing people, because she's very anxious about who's on her team.
Yeah.
She keeps asking me, and I don't know 100% yet, but we'll get it figured out. So just all the unknowns has her a little heightened, so. And transitions in high school and so yeah. She's asking me 5,000 Mom, it's tomorrow at this time, right? Mom, it's tomorrow at this time, right? Yes. It'll be good.
Thanks.
Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, right. That's what we've got one for to, so you'll get a work request and she's gonna ask for something that is able to.
Oh, those don't get, they're all bolted together. Have wires. And jakes. Somebody else did too.
It's a nice part on it.
These are losing one.
It's like a private classroom and stuff.
Why do you just like that?
And it's a good place to work. Just think about it.
Can we look at this? It's a lot.
And it has those, but it's kind of not there too. And it's practice.
I'll take a look at it. I'll no problem. Because we have a lot of stuff. The one biggest thing is nobody's giving me anything, and I have her and stuff.
She's like that.
Well, she talked to Linda, stuff.
In person?
Linda's one that told me. She talked to Lisa Irwin. So I wasn't there, so she said, "Check Lisa Irwin," and Lisa said that, "Hey, I'm moving over to high school, but none of my stuff got moved." And I go, "I don't even know if she, I heard she moved to the Grapevine, but nobody's told me."
We told her to go to the classroom and mark all her stuff. She asked the educator to do that for her because she's out of state. I told her no, the parent educator isn't unavailable. If she were to send it, if that's going
But I'm
yes, so she's with her. She's in but you guys already knew a special ed group. Mine.
Yeah.
So I think all I have is this.
Okay, that's one. Okay. That'd be, you didn't. So that's the only thing I heard. She's going in there. So we're still in here.
Next office.
Oh,
Good one.
got it. Yeah. In that office. Okay. Shelley's office.
Yes. That's where she's going.
Shelley does, her, television. So is that correct? No, I said last year, Kyle talked about putting television outside. But I go, I heard about it coming through.
That's what they do. So I say, if anyone is, put that one outside. That's maybe be concession. You use it at the end of the day.
Is it outside concession? Or where they want it?
I say it's outside.
That's what I understood. Originally.
We used to have that one.
So people can see it.
Yeah.
Understand. Concessions.
That's, when the concession is closed, you can still use it. But if it comes over that one, too. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk.
Okay.
I know you're busy. Plus you need to get.
I'm just hungry.
Well, you're not having to drive all the way home tonight.
No, I'm not going home until Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just that there's so much that to do, so. And they'll be behind us.
You had a ton of stuff. Anyway, have a great evening.
You too.
See you later.
Night, Hazel.
Well, Hazel, have a wonderful evening.
Okay.
Talk to you tomorrow. Are you good?
Yep, I'm good. See ya early tomorrow. Or,
Wednesday's gonna be fun.
I know, I haven't been for a kickoff day yet.
Are you there? Well, we're not doing the round robins and stuff this year, so it's not as much. There's a lot of moving beforehand. It's not like classrooms, you went through everybody's classroom. And Diana
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, Diana had me do it. Well, what I mean by that is there was like 4 or 5 stations set up in a classroom. So I had a classroom. Diana had a classroom. Michael has a classroom. Anyway.
Oh, it's
So
good.
yeah, so there's no. But it's good though, because I'm really looking forward to her talking about accountability and talking about self-confidence and things like that.
It's important.
it's gonna be exciting. And we'll get our shirt put.
Yeah, it'll be fun. All right, I'll work for that.
Okay, you too.
back on.
Thank you.
We are adjourned.
Bye, good night, everyone.
Good night. Thanks for coming.